Welcome to Global Tax Talks Tax in 60 Seconds. I'm Will Morris, and here are some things to watch out for in the coming week. Another memorandum signed by President Trump has stirred up the tax world, but this time aimed at value-added taxes, which exist in almost every other major country other than the United States. In the memo, the President states, "My administration will examine non-reciprocal trade relationships with all United States trading partners, including any unfair, discriminatory, or extraterritorial taxes imposed by our trading partners on United States businesses, workers, and consumers, including a value-added tax." Now, already any number of economists, European officials, and think tanks have explained why a VAT which is rebated upon export is not discriminatory when imposed on US goods and services imported into the EU, or indeed anywhere else with a VAT. But, both because the tariffs generated by this could be quite substantial, and also because of a confusion about the export rebates on VATs and export rebates on income taxes, which dates back at least 30 years, I actually think this investigation should be taken quite seriously and could have significant impacts. And expect to hear more about a couple of interesting straws in the wind on the future direction of Pillar 2. Last week, the Hungarian finance minister said before the ECOFIN meeting that US withdrawal from the two-pillar project raised competitiveness issues for the EU. And later, on the X/Twitter account of the Hungarian EU rep, he was reported as having, open quotes, raised the question whether the EU and its member states should proceed with the implementation of the global minimum tax despite the US withdrawal, as this creates an entirely new situation, close quotes. Many of you will recall that Hungary was the last EU country to sign up to the directive, allowing it to go forward in December 2022. It sounds like there may be some buyer's remorse. Meanwhile, Singapore also had something interesting to say on this. In the budget announced last week, Singapore's finance minister proposed adding 3 billion Singapore dollars to the National Productivity Fund, which provides various non-tax incentives for companies to invest there. He made clear that this was intended to increase attractiveness for foreign direct investment in the face of the OECD minimum tax rules. And this follows an earlier announcement on a new refundable investment credit. But, as many of you will also remember, in 2024, Singapore delayed any decision on implementing a UTPR, and the finance minister, like his Hungarian counterpart, noted last week that, and again open quotes, "It remains to be seen what further moves the US and other major economies will make in this new geopolitical environment. We will assess our options as global tax developments unfold and adjust our policies where necessary." And those last 5 words are very important. Singapore is not bound, as Hungary is, by a hard-to-repeal directive, and is clearly ready to move quickly should the direction of Pillar 2 change. Interesting. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and come back next week so that you stay global tax ready.